What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 fragrances of this current season or time frame. I'm just going to be sharing the ones that I've been pretty much going to on a consistent basis over the past few months. If you're interested to see what those fragrances are and why, stay tuned. So I've been collecting perfumes forever. I was a perfume junkie in high school. My favorites in high school were Chanel Chance and Armani Code. And this was in high school, guys. In high school. So you can only imagine how much my collection has grown since then. I do have about 50 to 60 different fragrances that I rotate, but I do have about 10 that I always go to on a consistent basis. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome and thank you. I'm Brittany with Laid Back Luxe, and if you're into life's little luxuries and hearing reviews and opinions on different items or experiences, feel free to subscribe and to hit that bell. If you're not new and you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video with me. So let's just dive right on in. I'm not going to be going in any particular form or fashion or order. It's not number 1 to number 10. It's just the top 10, and I do have a couple bonus ones as well. So first, what I want to do though is if you're not really familiar with fragrances or perfumes, you might not know the difference between all the different ranges. So in my collection, I have everything from body sprays all the way down to actual perfumes. Now, some of the differences between those categories are pretty much the amount of fragrance or essential oils or ingredients in that product that produce smell and the percentage rate that they use. So to give you an example, body mist is mostly alcohol or water-based with a very, very small amount of perfume on it. So it's not going to last all day. It's pretty much going to just be for a couple hours and then dissipate. So this is going to kind of go on a range from lightest to strongest. So then after body mist, you would have cologne, and colognes typically have about 2 to 4% fragrance in the bottle, and the rest is alcohol or water. Same with eau de toilette. Eau de toilette has usually about 10% perfume or fragrance in it, and eau de parfum usually has about 15 to 20, while pure perfumes have about 20 to 30% in them. So I don't want you guys to think that just because you get an eau de toilette or cologne that it's not going to be long lasting. There are some very long lasting fragrances, colognes and eau de toilettes out there, and even body sprays and body mist that can last for hours. To me, it really depends on the ingredients that they are putting into their perfumes and their fragrances. If the ingredients and the essential oils and the essential components are whack, the performance is going to be whack. That's just as simple as that. So let's kind of just dive in now that we know a little bit between the body mist, colognes, eau de toilettes, eau de parfums, and perfumes. We'll kind of get into my list from there. I'm going to be grabbing, going, telling a little bit about my experiences with them, and I will actually put a fragrance list on the side over here so you can see what ingredients or what essential oils or scents actually make up the specific perfume I'm talking about. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to pull out is the Cactus Garden by Louis Vuitton. This guy is a great perfume. It's not the best on performance. It only lasts on me for about 4 hours at the most, but I love it for those outdoor events, if we're doing barbecues, if we're kind of just going and hanging out by a lake or the river, and I want to be in nature, but I still want to smell nice on the way there, or maybe we're running errands before. I absolutely love this. This has like lemongrass and incense in there, so it's really good for warding off bugs. That's one of the main reasons I like it, because I can have a bug repellent that doesn't smell like a bug repellent. It's unisex as well, so my spouse and I both love it. It's very fresh, it's clean, it's uplifting, it's a tad bit sweet, but nothing overwhelming. It's just, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a great combination and blend. It's not too complex. It's just very uplifting, and it's not one that feels really like, heavy in the summertime. So this is a great summer fragrance, although I know I'll be wearing this in the fall and the winter too, especially on those days when I just want to feel a little bit of sunshine, just feel bright, airy, and uplifted. Louis Vuitton's perfumes are mostly eau de perfumes. However, I feel like this one probably has a lower percent of perfume or ingredients in them versus the next one I'm going to talk about, which is the Contre Moi. The reason I say that is because this Contre Moi has like the longest lasting staying power for me. It lasts all day. I can get it when I spray it in the morning for work, and by the time I'm done, I still smell great, even if I go to dinner or anything after that. And it is fantastic. You know, it's really funny. I tend to gravitate towards warmer, sweeter, kind of muskier scents. I did have a signature scent, just as a side note, I had a signature scent when I worked at Lush that I created for myself, and it was a mix of violet, orange blossom, vanilla, honey, and white chocolate. I would mix all these things together, and it was different things from varying from lotions to perfumes to body oils. So it was just like I was building a personal scent for myself. And ever since I found out those are my scents that really work toward, like, that smell really great on me, I've noticed that I gravitate towards perfumes that have those ingredients in them. So if you find that you're someone who really likes those like kind of bold, mysterious, intriguing scents, but also like those warmer, sweeter ones, you're probably gonna like a lot on this list. I also have some citrusy ones, and I have some that are a little bit floral, like lighter flowers, but you'll see, you'll see. So this was the first Louis Vuitton fragrance I fell in love with. I got a sample of it one time in the store. I tried it out. I got so many compliments on it. I fell in love immediately. Anytime I get a compliment, I absolutely have to buy the fragrance. I'm just one of those people. And it was my first love, the first fragrance ever. And now that I was researching them, I realized now I know why. It's chock full of vanilla and orange blossom, I believe. So that explains it. There's 3 different types of vanilla in here. I think there's like Madagascar vanilla and Tahitian vanilla. There's a little bit of orange blossom, and I believe there's some rose in there. And there's something else. Again, I'll have the list up there for you, but I absolutely love it. This one, whenever I smell it, it's just so sophisticated. It's such a sophisticated vanilla. It's not like your uber sweet vanilla either. It's a vanilla that has a little bit of orange in there. You can kind of pick up that orange. It's very bright. It's a little sharp, but not crazy. Again, I think this is great for the office. This is an office vanilla for me. And I just get such class and sophistication when I do spray this. And again, I do get tons of compliments when I wear it, either at work or when I was just going out and about for the night. So the reason I'm talking so much about this thing, it's like a work vanilla, because I do have another vanilla fragrance that I absolutely love. This one is called Orchid Vanille by Van Cleef and Arpels. This guy is more of a warmer, sweeter, flirtatious vanilla. I've had this guy for about 3-4 years now. It's my number one favorite. You can actually see I use quite a bit of it. It's just a very complex perfume with the ingredients that it has. And again, I'll list those so you'll be able to see all the ingredients in here. But when you smell it, it's such a simple, sweet, flirty vanilla. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's really great. And it is one of my tops. So I'm going to pause for a minute because my dogs are going crazy upstairs, and I'm going to try and calm them down, and I'll be right back. Again, this is one of the ones that I absolutely love. I did find it in France. Actually, that's what inspired me. I was on a solo trip to France, and as I was traveling around and going places, I kept smelling these really beautiful vanilla scents in the air and on people, and I just had to find the fragrance. So I went into a perfumery and asked around for what their top vanilla fragrances were, and they pointed me to this. Now, originally, I did not like it. I smelled it, and I'm like, this isn't vanilla at all. It doesn't smell anything like what I've been smelling on people. I sprayed some on me and walked out of the store. In about 5 minutes, I turned around and walked right back because I absolutely fell in love with the way that this opened up and warmed up on my skin. Anytime I wear it, I get multitudes of compliments from men and women. It's just an absolute must-have. It's one of my favorites. So moving on to another one that's kind of like a niche fragrance is the Violet by Berdoues. Again, I love violet. And this guy, actually, when I smelt it, I got this in Spain when I was traveling with a friend in San Sebastian. And we popped into a little boutique and it was just cute and quaint. And I was looking around and I saw some perfumes. And this guy caught my eye first because I've always liked perfumes with poofs. And then because it said it was violet. So I took a whiff of it and it's just... even smelling it now is just so magical. I'm going to spray some on me because I have an interview. And I think this will be great. It is just sexy, sophisticated. It's classy. It's mature, but it's not grandma-ish. It's a very, very beautiful floral violet that is sweet. It starts out a little sweeter versus very deep and robust, and I really appreciate that it's just not like poof in your face, because as I've said, I do like violet, and I had a favorite from Lush, but it took a while to warm up to actually get to the part that I really enjoyed. This one starts at that point where I really enjoy it. It's just beautiful. I like this on date nights when I'm being a little flirty. I would wear this to the office if I had a little bit of a power meeting, or if I'm wearing like those deeper, darker colors. I just really absolutely love everything about this. And I've seen this online when I actually looked it up specifically. It doesn't pop up right away, but I have seen it online, and I will be repurchasing. Ooh, I switched it. I will be repurchasing when I run out. I'm about here on it now, so I still have quite a ways, but this is a go-to that will stay in my wardrobe. And this one is actually one that I love to layer and blend as well. I have a pure orange blossom one that I got from Seville, that I mix with this one. I'll also mix this one with the vanilla if I want something a little sweeter. So this one is really good for layering, in my opinion. So the next one that I'm going to be doing is, or the next one that's in my list is going to be grass. So I absolutely love Lush. As I said, I worked there for 10 years. I fell in love. Grass actually started out as a shower gel for Lush that discontinued. And I was in Florence. Florence has actually the only Lush perfumery in the world, but I absolutely love it. He loves it. It's unisex. This guy is really complex. It's really deep. It's really dark. It's going to be a scent that not everyone likes at all. And, but the ones who do love it will fall in love. There's like notes of neroli in there, and grass, and aloe vera, and violet. It just opens up to all these different aromas and fragrances. I love wearing this when I'm in a mood, when I'm just like in a green, earthy, kind of moody, like, I don't know, spirit of the forest kind of mood. I just love it. And I'm really happy I got the fragrance, especially since the shower gel is no longer around. The shower gel is still ultimately my all-time favorite, but this does come in handy. I don't use it all the time because it is a heavy scent and I have to be in the mood to want it. But when I want it, and I'm so glad I have it. So the next one is actually going to be from Lush. We'll kind of keep it in the same house. This guy is the 29 High Street. It is from Lush. The story behind this was originally you could only get it at 29 High Street in Poole, England. And it's supposed to smell like the entire store. So if you've ever walked past a Lush or walked into a Lush, you kind of get an aroma of all the soaps and the shower gels and the hair care and the skin care and the bath bombs and the bubble bars. You just get a mix of all the scents in the store since everything is opened and unpackaged. And that's what this perfume smells like. So I love wearing this when I just want to be taken back to my Lush days. It's really playful. It's really light. It's not like immature, like childish, but it is very youthful, jovial, citrusy, uplifting, powdery. It smells like candy. It kind of reminds me of like those powdery sweet tart candies. It's sweet, tart, tangy, powdery. Like, it's just a blend, and I absolutely love it. I don't wear it a lot, but again, when I believe scents can bring back some of the best memories, and this is one that brings back great memories. I love it. I will absolutely keep it in my collection. They don't always have it. I found it when they were having an online sale, but and I just had to grab it, so I did, and it's such a great price. And the thing with Lush's fragrances are their perfumes. They have about 20 to 30% fragrance in them, so they last all day, all night, through whatever you're doing. They just last, and they have such beautiful blends that are very unique. And I also love that each fragrance smells completely different on different people, so you're never gonna run into someone and be like, oh, you smell exactly like me. You can be wearing the same perfume, but it smells completely different. And a perfect example of that is this Amelie May. I actually bought this because for the longest time I wasn't able to get the 29 High Street, and to me this smells almost identical on the skin. However, the essential oils that make this up are nowhere near it. This has like a lot of lavender and I think rose and ylang ylang. This one has like citrus and florals and sweet, and it's a mix, but this smells so fresh and kind of sweet and tangy on me, and I absolutely love it. You can see I do use it, especially since this one was limited and I just recently got this one. It did take the place of it, and I just used it on days when I didn't have a specific mood. It's not plain Jane, but it's very universal in my opinion, but it also is it has a little bit of an uplifting pick-me-up. So I did wear this a lot in the winter when I had to work, because I worked in an office that was kind of gray. So I did like having something that just kind of gave me a little boost of energy throughout the day. And this was the guy, especially when I just caught a whiff of it. So going on to my last three items, they're actually part of the Jo Malone house, and I absolutely adore them. Jo Malone is a fragrance company that I just recently learned of in the past year or so, actually in November, and I just absolutely fell in love. I did like a deep dive into it, and I have just been using it ever since. So the first one is going to be the Yuja. It's actually yuzu, and yuzu is very citrusy and uplifting. This is a citrusy fragrance that is just like, when you smell it, it's citrus. It's not a blend, it's not a mix, it's just citrus. Like, all I get is sunshiny vibes. If I want to feel like I'm walking on sunshine in the middle of a summer day at the beach or whatever, this is a great one for it. It's beautiful. I would probably wear something like this maybe to a Sunday brunch or something of that nature, because it isn't super complex and I don't think it'll overtake the whole environment and the situation. You never want your perfume to walk in ahead of you, and none of these do as long as you're doing it correctly. So the next one is also a citrusy one from Jo Malone, but I think this one is slightly more complex. This one has lots of neroli, or not neroli, but lime in here, or not lime, mandarin, there's basil, there's also amberwood. So it kind of has that citrusy up note, but there's also a note that comes back and brings it right down and kind of like grounds it. And it's nice because it is a little more complex. It's a little more sophisticated. Jo Malone reminds me of like Lush's Sophisticated Auntie. It's just, they have similar vibes, but this one's just so much, I don't know how to say, I don't want to say Lush isn't classy. I love Lush. This is like a classier, like elegant version of Lush, and where Lush is more light, jovial, and playful. And I absolutely love it. This was the first fragrance I did get from Jo Malone. I got several compliments from it, and I fell in love, and I had to source it out and buy the big bottle, so I did. And I have no regrets. This will definitely be one that stays in my wardrobe forever. The next one I have, and the last one, is also from Jo Malone, but it's on the other end of the spectrum. This one is my confidence fragrance. When I'm confident and I'm in the mood, I will use this one. It is the Vetiver and Golden Vanille. This guy is great. It's very smoky, it's very sweet, it's a unisex. It's called the Cologne Intense because Jo Malone typically does use colognes, but there are ones that last so long on the skin. I never have an issue with it not lasting. And this is the Intense one, so it's a little more bold. I feel like it could be marketed towards men or women. It smells great on both, but this is a fragrance, in my opinion, that needs skin. Like, it sounds crazy saying that, but it absolutely needs skin. It doesn't warm up until it does. And if I were to spray it in the air, it would smell like someone's smoking a vanilla cigar in my house. But when you get it on the skin, it starts off a little smoky and then it ends up with that sweet, warm vanilla scent, but it is very bold and intense, so you don't need a lot. And if you're not familiar with how to spray perfumes, there's two different ways that you spray it. If you're going to be going into an office or a work environment where there's lots of people, you want to spray it in the air and walk into it. So it's not heavy, it's not overpowering. Again, people aren't smelling your perfume before they even see you, and you're still being able to irradiate the essential oils off of your skin. Now, if you're going on a date, I love spraying it on pulse points. I like behind the ear, behind the neck, on the collar line, and maybe on the inner of the elbows, or behind the knees. But again, if you're in an office environment, you always want to spray in the air and walk through it just so it's not overwhelming. Or even if you're testing out a perfume, you'll want to waft your hand, spray and waft your hand through it. That's going to give you the best. So, again, this one is not one that you want to spray a lot of. You just need one or two. Otherwise, it's going to be way too intense, but it is beautiful. This is also going to be one of those fragrances that you need to be confident when you wear it because everyone's going to smell it no matter what. And if you feel self-conscious, you're not going to like it. So that is it for me. I am going to put this down. I have an interview that starts in 2 minutes, so I'm glad I got this done. I hope you guys enjoy. I do have one last remaining one. It's a body spray. It's one of my favorites. It's so light, airy, and feminine. I love wearing this when I get out of the shower and I'm not going anywhere because it smells like you, but better. So it's not overpowering, it's not overwhelming, but it is a fantastic one. So if you want a body spray that smells fabulous on anyone, get this one. It says number 5 from Chanel. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Actually, I would love to hear what some of your favorite fragrances are. So if you would list those in the comments for me, I would love to check them out the next time I'm perfume shopping. But that's it for me. I hope you guys stay safe and ciao.